the trail has been just this kind of muddy mess. Try to stay on it, but sometimes you just got to walk around it a little bit. So along the way, there's a bunch of these overlooks where you can just kind of get a nice view of the mountains beyond. And unfortunately, today has turned into another cloudy day, or the pictures would be much better. Luckily, the sun came out a little bit for my drone video, but since then it's been pretty much just like this. I stopped looking down and start looking up. That just almost smacked me in the head. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. The sky's finally starting to turn blue a little bit. The erosion on these things is really cool, like something you'd find inside of a cave. And this one here, just completely hanging. And then all this sand, I don't think it was brought up here for the trail. I'm wondering if that's from the erosion, and that's sand off of this, some kind of sandstone. I'm guessing this is what this is. Watch where I'm going. Everything's so slick, and then trying to film this at the same time, taking a couple of bad steps. This is really neat. I wasn't really expecting this up here. So yeah, I was right about the sandstone. Came back and read the boards. Finally, need to do that more often. And the bluffs are all made out of sandstone. So I'm at a campsite in Ozark National Forest, and it's a closed, well, technically I guess a closed site in that they don't maintain it or something like that from what I read, but it's got a pit toilet. Unfortunately, the best spots are out there where the rocks are, and that's where I really want to go. I could get around them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not that kind of camper. So what I'm going to have to do is take this one right there isn't bad, but it's right in the path of the road. You can see it from the road. So I'm just going to go and shoot to this one right here, which I'll show on camera in a second. Right here. So it's kind of nice. It's got the picnic table and a fire ring and everything. So, and that's what the rest of the site looks like. So I'm gonna back into this, and this will be home for the night. All right, so I am at my site, and I might actually start a fire tonight. I keep saying I might, but I never do. And I'm gonna be at my buddy's house in a couple of days, so I can do laundry, and I can shower real well. I just don't like the smell of the smoke in my clothes and in my hair and everything. But I'm actually trying to see if there's a good viewpoint to get the sunset. I just launched my drone when I got in here, and finally got to do that 2 or 3 times today, and we'll finally be able to post some drone footage. I got some really nice footage from Missouri, which I'll be posting here in a couple of days, hopefully. But I'm not sure if I'm going to start a fire or if I'm just going to sit and edit footage. But maybe I can do both. The bugs don't seem too bad, and the fire will keep them away anyway, so we'll see. I got a little bit of a shot here, but not much of one. Hold on. So it's actually much brighter on camera. Unfortunately, there's no good viewpoints, and I wish I would have waited to launch my drone a little bit later, because I think that's a prettier view than my drone footage, and I'll put that in here and you can tell me. But it is nice. It was really pretty today, and it was a great drive up here. Man, it was beautiful. Arkansas, I had no idea that this state was so pretty. It's, you know, one of those states you live along one of the coasts, and you don't really think a lot about some of these states other than, you know, certain people being from them or whatever. But this is a really cool area, really pretty area. I like it a lot. It's a shame I might spend one more night here and then get to my buddies in the late afternoon on Wednesday and see if I can't check out a little bit more of this state. I might go down to the other national forest down below. I can't remember what that one is, but after this drive, that might be the thing to do if it's a nice day tomorrow. So I actually cheated to get that going. I used fuel tabs, and everything around here was so wet that was on the ground, but the fuel tabs were enough to at least get the really small twigs going, and then, you know, I just put other stuff on top of that. Now I've got bigger wood around the edges to kind of dry that out, so eventually that'll burn. And then I've got a little bit more here, and this thing here, talked about it in one of my other videos, but it's the Big Boy 5000, I think. Anyway, this thing, you just let it do the work. It goes through this stuff here like crazy. I mean, it is so little effort to get wood going that this thing is about $55 to $60 on Amazon or eBay. And it is worth every penny. If you're into campfires and you cut wood a lot, just throw away whatever you got and get one of these. And I'm sure there's YouTube videos on it. They are amazing. Thanks to Super Wheelie Overland. Again, I mention him a lot, but I get a lot of my ideas from him. And this is one of them. I won't go anywhere without this overlanding, that's for sure. I cut that one tree from across the road on one of my videos. I did that with this. Give it a look on YouTube, see how easy it is, and maybe one day when it's light out and I'm cutting some wood, I can demonstrate it myself. All right, good morning. Last night I slept awesome. That was probably one of the best sleeps I had in a long time. You can hear the traffic, and there's a pickup or a truck coming right now, so you can hear that all night, but inside the cab it's not too bad. Now when the big trucks, the logging trucks and things like that, hit the rumble strips, which they do often around these turns, that gets pretty loud. But regardless, I slept just so well last night. Actually, I didn't even want to get out of bed because I wanted to keep sleeping, which probably tells me I'm not sleeping well, but it felt like I slept well. So, but had to get moving. It's another really nice day, or it's going to be a really nice day. Yesterday was only a little bit nice, but I want to move on to another forest down in southern Arkansas, or more south, and kind of take my time getting there. I'll set up camp there, hopefully, and then from there go on into Texas. But until then, I got to get coffee going. So I had this configured to sleep like I normally would at a campsite. Had plenty of room inside. So last night I made soup, which is why I already had this put together. I didn't have to put it away. And yeah, just kind of watched some Netflix and kind of chilled out. I did have my fire going for a little while. I didn't stay around it too long, just because without somebody else, it's kind of boring to just sit there, and I didn't feel like getting out my camping chair, and I wanted to get inside and eat. So, but it was nice to have it going anyway. It was a nice ambiance. It gave me a little bit of exercise to cut through the wood, even though it was pretty easy to do. And then I took a little walk around, and it is pitch black here. The stars are amazing. It was really pretty last night as well. But while I'm talking, I might as well go ahead and get this going. So all I'm going to do, I'm not going to eat anything. I've got Cliff Bars up front if I get hungry. And so I'm just going to make my coffee. And so this is all I do every morning. Is I usually make it on the back bumper, or I'll make it inside on my table. Very rarely is it not so buggy out like it is this morning. It's actually really nice and comfortable, and there's no bugs hardly. So I actually get to make it on a picnic table and stretch out and have some room, and then I can reconfigure this thing. So actually I've still got a lot of these oranges that I picked up the other day. There's something I wanted to talk about that I can't remember now, but you know, now that I drove through part of Arkansas yesterday and saw how pretty it was, I really want to do a lot more driving around here, but I just don't have the time to do it. So this will definitely be one of those states that I want to come back to and check out a little bit more, especially this park. I mean, it's so pretty up here. So I didn't have a GPS or a satellite, I didn't have a cell service signal last night. So I sent another text with my satellite phone, which is really good to have. I mean, when it's so dark here, anybody could come in off the road. You don't know what's going to go on. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So, sorry, I wanted to finish eating my orange and not keep talking. So, I did sleep really good last night, and I said that I had the campsite alone near the spring last night, and I technically did, but I didn't. So, as I was finishing up eating my MRE and doing a video on that, and I was just sitting there eating, this guy shows up, and it's pitch black at this time, and this guy shows up, and he tells me that, or he starts walking towards me with the flashlight. So I just say, hey, how you doing? I couldn't even see who it was. I didn't know why it was there. It's one of those moments you're just not sure enough. I mean, I didn't, you know, go for any weapon or anything. I'm standing out there eating my food. And it was just an older guy. And he asked me if I'd seen anybody float down on the river, which, one, I think they're nuts for doing that. I mean, it's only May. It's freezing cold out there. The river has been running high, as he even said. But a couple of 20-somethings were going down the river, which I'm sure they do all the time. And he wasn't really sure where they put in at and or where they were supposed to get out. But I mean, they had put in about 12 o'clock or something like that, and now it was 9, after 9 or whatever time it was, and it was just a really long time. So I'm asking him, because I don't know about the area. I've never floated down river. I want to, but I never have. And asked him, you know, a bunch of questions about it. And apparently him and his wife and some other people were at 3 different points that they normally come in on. So, turning a long story long story shorter, you know, I tell him I'll keep an eye out for him. If I hear anything, you know, I'll let them know. So he takes off, but then comes back like 10 minutes later, comes down to my camp, and he's still looking for him because he doesn't have cell signal. So he's got to go somewhere else to get cell signal to find out if his wife has found them, and then come back. So he came back, he starts talking to me, and, you know, I know he's going to be there a while, so I'm just talking with him, we're chit-chatting, and that goes on about an hour, and then he takes off, and, you know, I tell him good luck, whatever. I mean, there's nothing I can really do. I mean, if I hear something outside my window, people going down river talking, I'll, you know, yell or something. But so as I crawl into bed, I think he or somebody else pulled up again and then stayed up top, but I could see their lights from where I was. I was kind of sitting below, and the parking lot's elevated, and then all night people were coming and going, sitting there with the lights on, walking around with the flashlight. And I mean, they're obviously concerned. I said, I don't know what I could have done, if anything. So, you know, I just stayed in my cab because I didn't know what was really going on up there. I was thinking that, you know, it was the people looking for them. And so then, you know, I can't really sleep most of the night. And then as the sun comes up, I'm like, well, I'm going to go up there, and, you know, now if they're really lost, they're lost. You know, maybe I can help, you know, with the search party. Now that it's light, they can go out and look for them. I don't know. So I get dressed, and then as I'm getting dressed, whoever was up there just took off. I never saw him again for the next half hour, 45 minutes. So I don't know if they found the people or not, but all night, you know, I'm waking up, I'm seeing something, and then I go back to sleep. Wake up, see something, go back to sleep. So I really didn't sleep all that well the other night, but unlike that tonight, or last night, I mean, it was just me, no distractions, nothing, just the traffic out there. The temperature was amazing. I had my USB fans blowing cool air inside. No bugs came in with that, and man, it was great. So anyway, rabbled on long enough. I'm going to finish making my coffee. I'm going to reconfigure, and I'm going to head out of here and hopefully find, get some drone footage. Now that I'm starting to get that out more and more, and there's no breeze today, today would be a perfect day to get some drone footage. So that's the plan. Talk to you later.